breakfast, eat my baby for dinner. Had to switch up the methods. We don't hang with pretenders. I'm the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yeah. Say the city yet again, here it come, yeah. Vigilante on the rise, why is it surprising? They throw agents at your boy to keep the fix divided. Frequent flyer and I always preach to fly united. Niggas be so scared to fail, that's why they keep it quiet. God flow, I know you hear it, Rock pioneered it. Gave me the wheel, then a nigga had the power steer it. Steady faking what you making, ain't no power near it. I bet this on your radio as soon as power hear it. Yeah, I wear my cape real loose, sleeves on in 2, 3. Ooh, I'm getting new cheese, bruh. Cowabunga on a routine, that's a true thing. Routine, I made a new scene. Under gray clouds, city lights, 40 days, 40 nights. It could be a short life, not a long one. When you coming from.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Conquest Clash, powered by AOE Sports, week number 3 of Season 2 in Division number 2, and it's been a while since you've seen my face on a broadcast. My name is Cyberwaste, and I am joined by another long-time cohort. It's been a long break, but we're going to be going off of the bag. I am joined with Pironious. How do you do?
Absolutely, it's great to be here with you. It's great to be back, and we're going to be kicking straight into this one fairly early. As you've no doubt noticed, we're running a little behind schedule. This is week 3, and it will be the Sluggalinis versus Team Kick It. And as you no doubt know, here in the Conquest Clash, it is going to be a best of 3. And it looks like we may be starting over on Ascent for our first map.
It's one of the basic cornerstones of the entire map pool for the longest time. You could call it the dust too, given how well traveled it is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's not a lot of maps out in Valorant as of yet, and as a result of that, it's hard to exactly factor in which one is the favored maps as of yet. And the main thing we know is Split is definitely not one of those.
Oh man, Split! That's the ire of many a team I've heard in my travels.
Absolutely, but we'll be getting into this one shortly, just waiting on a few last things to be fixed up, and we'll be able to get into the game. Both of these teams looking... As I said, both of these teams come into this match with a 2-0 record, which means that one of these teams will be giving up the perfect win record tonight. But we're here in Division 2, and, there's really only 4 teams left in this division, so this match is going to be very important for really setting the... really getting the standings going forwards into this one.
Indeed, and the 2 teams that do have the 2-0 record, that sadly one will have to be given up tonight, are the Sluggalinis and Team Kick It. And Team Kick It made me think of the song by a tribe called Quest, which you heard in The Last Dance, which is nice, but whatever. We have a couple of newly minted teams, and both of them just in it for fun, which is one of the purposes of this tournament, which I'm all for. And the Sluggalinis, I want to run them down real quick because we have Bookshaw Mars, we have Ghost, Ray, Kachow Dude, who I hope will be lightning on the server, and we have OCE. They were created about a month ago, and well, I got to admire their honesty. It's like, the name sounded cool, so we're going to go with that. And I can really respect that. And they've got a big goal in 2021, which I really can admire. They want to be sponsored by a certain peripheral company and become a big piece of the tier 1 in the region, which, well, fair play to you. And, well, we'll see how that all comes together, and hopefully they can celebrate with Korean barbecue when it's all done.
We're over on the Hero Select team now. Team Kick It locking in very quickly all of their heroes, and looks like we're seeing... I mean, it's a pretty standard sort of team comp here. They will be running the Sova, Cypher, Omen, Reyna and Jet, so probably Reyna being the only one who's really a little unusual in this sort of lineup. She's not the most popular entry fragger. And I believe only recently had some big nerfs come through. I think those have come through now. And if so, that's really going to remove her sort of 1v5 potential as well. On the flip side, the Sluggalinis, we do have the Killjoy coming out. They're going to be bringing out Raze as well, and Omen there. I imagine that Sova pick that Ghost has hovered on will be going through as well. Very uncommon to not be running a Sova here. And likewise, perhaps another Reyna. No, there will be the Jet coming in from Danby Me, so perhaps not too surprising, especially with the long sightlines on this one, having the Jet operator player in there as well. So we'll probably be seeing some of those ops going head-to-head as the rounds get unfolded. But obviously we'll be starting off with a pistol round, so it'll be a few rounds before that really gets underway.
Indeed, we are slowly building up to being on the server. So let's have a look. Team Kicker will be your attackers, your defenders will be Sluggalinis, which we have just run down. And oh, that so much neon on this kit from Bok Choy. I love the glitch pop kit, but I think staring at it for a while would it'd get a bit. It'd be like, oh, I've had too many whiz fizzes. I need to calm down.
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. But we have the investment coming in here. Bit of armor coming out onto the defenders. A Ghost and a Frenzy picked up as well. Now that Frenzy has had its price increase go through. It's not the 400 credit dream that it used to be. It is a full 500, so you really do have to commit into it over the Ghost now. And on the attacker side, they'll be picking up a Frenzy, a Ghost, and a bit of armor as well.
Flame really holding this long position as toss out the pen shells, trying to get someone out of the cubby. Has bought bed, no such fruit for them. And the slow envelope onto the site. The attackers will know because the door's gone down near a tree. And more likely the attackers will just be waiting for this urban bubble to slowly dissipate and slowly move on to the site. They're going to be put up to a very tough task, though, looking at the defensive lineup. One of them is definitely able to swing via tree. And Brian didn't like what he saw, has decided to back off, and it looks like...
it's a push-up catwalk.
Yeah, TVK gets sort of backpedaled and is moving towards mid, maybe not liking what was going on at A, and has decided to change their angle of attack. It's really interesting because Bok Choy might be onto this, and they definitely are now because of the firefight breaking out. 30 seconds down, and the defenders are definitely putting the wall up. Reyes claimed 2. And Flame will put the exclamation point on that one. And that is the first round going to the Slugs.
Yeah, and really well played defense from them there. Very disciplined. They put up a solid position. Really forced Team Kickit to have to take some risks to get in there. In the end, those risks not paying off at all. Now they're going to come into this round with a fairly large economic advantage. Like, they are forcing out on that win. They're picking up some SMGs, they're picking up a Judge as well. The attackers, they are looking like going for almost the full eco, just a single Ghost for their buy. So they are looking to take this one easy, come in on the third round hard. But if they're able to capture some weapons, maybe they can make something happen. That said, they've lost their Reyna. That is their entry down already. And oh, here comes the Spectre to clean up. Bok Choy picking up 3. That round is over before it began.
And the Omen will be saying, thank you very much for giving me my pips. He's either gotten or he's very close to his ultimate coming into the next go around. And looking at the current state of affairs, we'll see. Yeah, it looks like the attackers are really wanting to buy into this despite a couple of rounds. This is pretty much the way it goes. Seeing Vandals being put out, a couple of Spectres. I do see the Bucky on Flame, which I really want to see the frag end up coming to fruition there.
Yeah, the defender's just going for the bonus round here. They're not picking up anything more than they brought into the previous round, except for maybe one rifle there. But the attackers are going to be coming in with the full set of equipment here. This is their opportunity to swing things back, and Flame going down early is going to be a big start for that one as well. They've currently got complete mid-control here on the attack, which means they could push into either of those sites, but they are just waiting for someone to make a mistake. Oh, Bokchoy gets caught out looking the wrong way there by the Cypher. Brian cleaning that one up. It's now 5v3 in favor of the attackers. They've completely taken over that A site, and the defense is rotating through, getting ready for that retake.
Even if they will go for the retake, they haven't exactly started to move in. No, Ghost is starting to make his presence known, has let a couple of shots go, but his position's been revealed by the rival server's recon bolt, which has made things go from bad to worse in terms of knowing positions. And Ghost actually got the better of the Omen there, and then there was a trade to Ray. And Ghost has actually gotten two, so that has really changed the complexity of things, and the slow development onto the site might have paid off. We're down into a 1 versus 1. Dambumi and the rival Sova. Too much time might have elapsed. There goes Flames to its head. But despite getting the bomb down, it was very costly for the attacking side.
Yeah, that should not have been nearly that close when you've got the sort of 5v3 advantage there and the opponent has the weaker buy. You really should not be letting them back into the game like that. In the end, they do, as you say, close that one out. But yeah, it really is going to cost them. And look at this. Yeah. They now, coming into this next buy, it will be all rifles on the field, but only Flamestar surviving from the previous round is going to be able to have the full armor. Everyone else on half armor. Meanwhile, the defense, who went for the bonus round last round, has the full set equipped, 5 rifles on the field, full armor. They got a strong position here. They've already got a lead, and they're going to be looking to really lock that one down and keep it going. They win here, they break the economy of the attackers, and they're able to get some real momentum going.
The Cypher really wanted to get into a duel with the turret there, and really being overly cautious and overly careful. Can't really blame him, but Flame is taken down early. Really having a bit of a rough time to start. Maybe that tide will turn eventually, but in the early goings on, you were mentioning it, that they really had to battle back. This is not a good state of affairs. 1 down, and 1 halfway there being the Jet.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting go with the split push there, trying to press into both sites, look for an opening, maybe divide the defenders. In the end, they only divide themselves, losing their Reyna once again. Means that's a lot of that's your main entry pool's gone. And now having to entry without that, Ghost is going to pick up the Cypher there of Brian, which means it's now 5v3 in favor of the defense. Remaining members bottled up outside of B. And, well, there's a lot of defenders in position to get there quickly. It's going to be a 3v3 on that B site with reinforcements coming from A.
Essentially, one of these teams are going to have to get a frag, but Viet has been nailed down by the turret of Ray.
Brutal.
That's just cruel. Flamester did get 1, but immediately got traded out. That is 3 now for the Slugs, and they're looking extremely comfortable in the early goings.
Yeah, Danby just swinging out of market there and cleaning up the remaining 2 members of Team Kickit. They were just not expecting anyone to poke from that angle by the looks of it, and it was just a shooting range there. Sluggalinis looking really good here, and Team Kickit, they seem to be really struggling to get any sort of entry onto these sites. It certainly doesn't help that they're losing their Reyna super early every round. Now they're going to be forced onto the power pistols here for a bit of an eco, so this round should be guaranteed by the Sluggalinis. Let's see if they can make it happen. Maybe the lack of pressure from being on this sort of eco round means we see a bit more aggression out of them, and maybe that translates into some sort of conversion here. Because if they can get some weapons, maybe something happens. But Bokchoy, well, he's taken down 1, but no, 2 of them down on the entry. I mean, it's not a bad entry for pistols. They've taken down 1, and the Jet is super low as well.
Found them.
One problem though, the bomb is down in trees. I guess who's got their eye on it? It's going to be Ghost, who just wiped out the Jet of it. And now it's only Reina in a 1 versus 4, who had just had a huge change, which we can't overstate how big of a change it is in terms of the effectiveness. And Ray just realized, yeah, the sheriff is a mean pistol. Never underestimate a revolver. And Illy really making the slugs pay, taking down one more before going down. But all things considered, they would have rather get the spike down. There's no question. But that's not a bad way to reset yourself. Not at all.
No, as far as pistol rounds go, that's not bad for them. They dropped 3 guns out of their opponent's hands for minimal investment on their part. I mean, you take those. That's a successful eco as far as I'm concerned. Will it be enough to get them back in this, though? That remains the question. We are going to see Danby actually picking up the shotgun here rather than a rifle, so we can expect maybe some knives to come out during this round. We've got a few ultimates available for the attackers as well. But, a drone there from Ghost is going to give a bit of an idea of where they're setting up here. Should see some rotations towards mid and B now, because they have a fair bit of information about where this attack is coming from.
Really crucial information to get in the early goings on. A lot of those members of Team Kick It were at B main and have decided to pull off the gas and go elsewhere. We'll see if the Sluggalinis actually react to that. Bok Choy getting eyes on Brian and lose the duel in that one. And that is interesting. And Flame will get 1. Flame is immediately traded out by Ilya. This is the best that Team Kick It's looked in quite a while. Both the leaders have gone out from Illy. The door will go down. Viet has put down the spike, or is going to at least. Ghost put out the Hunter's Fury, and at least alerted the rest of the team to where some of the now defenders are located. It is a 3 versus 4, and looking at the positioning, they're going to have to get moving on the side of the slugs.
Yeah, that drone will do a little bit there for spotting, or the sentry rather, will do a bit more. They know there's one in hell there. Ray not able to stick it. Illy finally coming alive. They had a very slow start, but they're definitely starting to come into their own here and now. And yes, they will close out that round. 4K from Illy there, bringing them up to 7 in total. After, I mean, that's the last 2 rounds, right? Illy just coming alive now. And maybe, just maybe, if they keep this up, Team Kick It do have a chance here. Because finally, their arena is alive and in the server. They've got the entry that they need. And, yeah, Team Kick It, they win that one, and they win it cheap as well. Still 4 ultimates online as well. So this next round could be pretty dangerous here. But there's still a bit of economy to work through before they've really broken the bank of the Sluggalinis.
Indeed, but they do have a lot of ultimates on deck, and there goes one of them. Viet's decided to pull out the Storm Daggers. Wanted to get a look up high and just rounds down Bok Choy on Heaven. That is a big frag to get, especially after that huge jump. And
Flame hitting back, paint shells taking out Viet, and then another one with the rice cooker. Here comes Flame.
Indeed, and that really big operator via the glitch pop one. Really has been having a heck of a performance, but has been put to pasture by Ghost. Now a 3 versus 2, bit of an awkward situation there. And yeah, it looks like they've moved onto the site, but they've got a lot to deal with. And there goes the Hunter's Fury. Ghost has gone down, and that changed the complexion once again. It's a 2 versus 2 now for the Sluggalinis to breach onto the site. With the camera there from Bryant, it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah, trying to retake with the operator is not really the easiest thing in the world, but if there is one site that will allow it, it's this one. Those long angles. Both players playing from Boathouse. And now Flame has a pretty good idea that that's probably the case. But, Brian actually peeks the operator there. Gonna regret that one. Will get traded out by Flamestar. And Flamestar actually carries it through in the end, picking up Danby as well. So managing to close that one out, but that was looking dangerously likely there. I mean, Brian, why are you peeking it off? What are you doing, mate?
Yeah, no, the sound on its own should be a deterrent enough. It is big, it is loud, it is brash, and you are brave to step out into any operator, especially one at a learning level or a pro level, and a raise to begin with. Even without the AWP is terrifying enough because of the page shells and the potential soul stopper, which is not on deck at the moment, but the page shells actually did come out off the break and did scrub them up a little bit on the attacking side, but not much.
Yeah, a bit of an eco buy coming in from the defense here, and as a result, I wouldn't be too surprised if they get very aggressive in this round, trying to catch their opponents off guard. But Team Kickit, they're all stacked up together with the exception of their Cypher, which is lurking over in B. Everyone else at A, so not really going to be the opportunity to go for a sneaky play to upgrade a weapon here. And Bokcho will actually get caught on that rotation as well. Didn't manage to quite take out Viet. Get a lot of damage onto the Jet though. Spike is down. It's going to be a 5v3 retake, with the weapon disadvantage on the retakers as well. So this is looking pretty good here for Team Kicker to even things up.
Damn, Brian moving off ramp.
Great start.
And that, you couldn't have timed that any better, that wrap around. Brian will get the final 2 frags, and we are at the level, and nobody went down on the side of Team Kicker. That is a very good sign, considering how we started off already. It was looking like a really rough to go of it.
Yeah, no, they have come back into this one quite well, and this round is at the breaking point here for the Sluggalinis. They are all in on this one. Flame has pulled out the operator, but they don't have the money for the full armor on top of that. Team Kickit can pick this one up. I mean, it actually might not be too bad because Team Kickit, they've been winning consecutive rounds here. Sluggalinis have got the full lots bonus now. They might be able to force into the next round and still be competitive, but it's not a position you really want to be in, especially when things are tied up here. And Flame going down early is not a good start there. Danby will recover that operator, though.
Definitely not something you want to start with, and Illy keeping the charge up, taking out the Omen in the proceedings. The bomb is going down, so is the door at Trees. Ray has eliminated the Jet of Viet to start their march to reclaim this site. So that is a small consolation, but they're going to have to get at least more. And there goes Ray with the lockdown, hoping to get some fruit out of that, but keep an eye on the Cypher as well with the wraparound starting to move up towards the ramp. This defense is looking even more strong as time goes on. And Ray and Ghost have teamed up nicely. One player did get detained, but they haven't checked on Brian and Heaven. And that is why it was so crucial to keep an eye on. The Cypher and the Sofa do survive. Team Kickit have kicked down the door and broken the deadlock.
I mean, I like the stones to stick it there. I think given the amount of angles that were potentially available, it was going to be very hard to cover it with the manpower they had. They didn't quite know where those remaining site defenders were. And maybe, just maybe, if you stick the defuse there, the defenders think that you're baiting, faking them out, and maybe, just maybe, you can get it through. In the end, doesn't work out, but I admire the courage. Sluggalinis now, they're into an awkward force buy here. A couple of power pistols, a couple of Spectres, mostly half armor across the board. Ghost the only one with the full armor there on the Sova. Meanwhile, this economy for Team Kickit just keeps building up and up here from all these consecutive round wins. It's going to be quite a while. In fact, at this point, they are going to be able to buy for the rest of the half. So, breaking their economy, no longer an option here. Ray picking up a great opening kill onto Illy there. We've seen that Team Kickit really struggle when Illy dies super early. So maybe, just maybe, there's an opportunity and Flame will recover that weapon as well.
That's a big scalp and a big recovery there too, especially given, yeah, the sheriffs are good, the Spectres are good in close ranges, but you definitely do want to make your arsenal a little bit more fruitful. And now the defenders, one of them at the very least, has decided to focus their power towards the B site.
Look at this lurking boathouse. I don't know if they know he's in there. Oh, they did expect it, but no. Ghost gets 3! Picking up 3 after hiding in Boathouse there. What a great turnaround that round ended up being. Sluggalinis get themselves back into this one. That's a huge round win for them, only losing 1 as well.
Only losing 1 and basically spooking. Well, fittingly, it was Ghost sitting in the boathouse. He essentially got 3 frags. Even though it was pre-fired, it was checked. Still ended up on top in basically the three jewels that basically went in sequence. So that's going to be a big feather in the cap for them. And we close on the buy phase of this round. And looking at the state of affairs, we do have Reyna, Sova, and Omen on the attacking side having their ultimates, of the Sova and Omen on the defense having theirs. And Viet's really getting right in there, moving into mid-arch. Tried to get his hands on something, didn't quite get it. Ghost, starting as he means to go on, will get 1, but it is traded out against Flame. Viet will get the tally for that. And the second one on the race. So that's put things in a very odd position. Despite...
Yeah, it's the A side open.
Yeah, it does indeed. And Danby with the door down.
Oh! Emperor shut down by Bokchoy there.
Yeah, big hit, especially with, like you said, Illy going off the board is usually not a fun time for the side of the team. Kick it. There is the Hunter's Fury onto the spike being diffused. And didn't quite get it. It did round out Bokchoy, but Damami's going to stick it. The Paranoia will go out. Damami's running out of time and just got shot to death. And shocked too by Flame Start. And they take the lead once more on the side of team Kick It, going into the final round before the change.
That's right. We are in the last round of the half, which means we'll see the last of these resources coming out there. And it looked like Sluggalinis were going to run away with this one early on in the half, but Team Kick It have come back with a vengeance. Now, everything's going to be on the table here. There's only a couple of ultimates available for both teams. Ghost will have the Hunter's Fury. And Bokchoy's got From the Shadows handy as well. Viet's got the knives. And Brian, Flame opening things up in a big way. Oh, 3 for Flame. Finally, the Reign of Terror shut down by Rice Cooker. But the damage has been done there.
That definitely hurt. Close to a 4-2, looking at the HP of the Cypher there, and Hunter's Fury as well. Rice trying to get out of the way! But now it is only Rice Cooker versus 3 remaining members of Sluggalinis. They're going to leave a trail over this half, and likely leave it tied, barring any heroics from the Omen. It's definitely not out of the question. If you could isolate this Killjoy...
The problem is Killjoy knows you're coming.
Especially with the turret going out.
Yeah.
So essentially 3-1 versus 1.
The Titan there, and the patience here from Ray's Killjoy. Knowing they don't need to take the duel, and there it is. Just waiting for Rice Cooker. I mean, that's fantastic. Just the patience there. And Rice Cooker having to check every single corner, knowing there's a Killjoy lurking somewhere, means that when you do decide to peek, chances are they're not going to be looking in the right direction. And sure enough, that will be a 6-6 half. So Team Kick It come back strong in the second half of that one. But now they're on the defense. It's the Sluggalinis' time to show their stuff. And they've got not a lot of flashes for the entries here. They've really only got the Paranoia from the Omen in terms of flashes. But obviously, the Bomb Bot, the Roomba, call it what you like, and those paint shells do give some strong entry tools nonetheless. So Flame still bringing some firepower to the table here.
Indeed, and well, Ray's in any situation just one to keep an eye out for, and then Illy being a two-headed monster at A long, moving into their next series of affairs. Yeah, Ghost still has the bomb on their back, but that is big short-handed early is not a good sign, and that really shifty duel, yeah. Ghost came out on top, but he took a lot of damage for it.
Definitely. Now they're having to push into this site almost dry. Got someone in flow on Descender side, and Ray will pick up Flame. Rice Cooker will pick up Ghost. Ray picks up a second one there, so maybe, just maybe, Ray is, by the looks of it, going to recover the spike as well. But they still have to... Oh, this could be sneaky.
One enemy remaining.
That Ray might have given their position away though. His backpedaled through B main, and Illy
30 seconds.
Illy hasn't realized the backpedal, and the Killjoy's got to get a move on. Ray's got to move to the A site. Look like he will make it there, and Illy hasn't quite picked up on it yet. Definitely will now. I mean, the time has come down, and there is no Killjoy to be found.
Spike planted.
That is the final cue. The spike is down. What was looking very shaky for the Sluggalinis is suddenly looking plausible because of the current position and the hero on deck.
Yeah, Ray opting to recall the bot, wanting to pick a different spot for it. Maybe looking for the Nano Swarm over the top play if you can hit that. Know your angles and you can land that one there.
Jet's very short-handed. Knowing the utility, there it is. Did bait out Illy. Is there enough time? Yeah,
I think there is just enough time. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think he's got it.
He does have it.
Yep.
It was very, very tight, but sadly not good. Not quite all the way there. And Illy will be the diffuser of that spike, and the lead will go to Team Kick It. I keep wanting to call them Team Kick for other reasons. But now we're looking to the next round, and let's look at the econ in the very early going for the Sluggalinis. No, they're looking just a couple of frenzies and the armor on Ghost and Ray, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, 4 frenzies. This is going to be an aggressive play. But again, the defense lining up. Illy picks up 2, and we will be seeing the retreat coming through as well from Viet.
Last player standing.
Oh, it's brutal.
That's just about as clean as you would have liked for the defense there, and that's definitely a solid grounding for the side of Team Kick It going forward.
Yeah, they're double peak these rounds so far. There's been a lot of members of the Sluggalinis coming around and just getting absolutely mowed down here. And so that is not too surprising. We see them now stacking up outside of B instead, not going for that one. But at the same time, it doesn't look like in this this rifle round that we're going to be seeing that same sort of defensive hold there either. Instead, mid control is what it's all about. Both teams looking to really fight for that one. We'll see how much the defense is willing to commit into trying to keep that mid control here, because that is a lot of attackers looking to secure it.
Yes, indeed. I've never seen the Suffocage do that. I've never seen the bottom of it. It's very, very odd. Volkswagen getting tagged up very heavily. Still living at the very least, but definitely going to be a deader man walking for the time being. And, well, what is actually dead? Illy just nails Flame square in the mouth with their Vandal, and that's leaving the attackers slightly short-handed, and definitely will be with Bok Choy already wounded.
Yeah, they seem to really be unsure where they want to push in through. The defense has this one locked down quite well there now. It looks like it will be a rotation around to push onto A there. Ray able to be the vanguard to this one, but the defense has already sniffed this out. Rotation coming through. There's going to be 3 people set up to defend by the time this hit comes down. And here we go. They're pushing out onto site now.
Last player standing.
Illy and Rice Cooker definitely holding the fort, and Illy with the 4K is like, yeah, what nerf? What nerf for Rainer? Slick 4K there, and is really starting to get going. And if you're on a defender's side that has economy, we both know another game that comes to mind. If you're a defense and you're stacked up in terms of economy, it is going to be very hard to stop. And we're almost getting to that point now. We haven't, and it's going to take a lot of work for the Sluggalinis to try and break that. But they're going to give it a good old go looking at their buy. We've got a couple of power pistols, armor across the board. I'm really curious about the Bucky and the Stinger of Bok Choy and
Well, they're both good guns. They are both surprisingly viable guns, especially if you've had a lot of practice with that Bucky. It can be absolutely brutal. And in the hands of a Jet in particular, you can really close that distance to get into that nasty shotgun range. So don't sell it short, because it is not the same as a pump-action shotgun from a certain other title, definitely. There are people who will say for its price point, it is probably one of the most broken guns in the game right now. So there is definitely some value from that one. And it's going to be a bit of a slower push here coming through, despite the eco there, as they look to carefully eliminate where the defenders could be hiding. Now they know where that Omen is, but, well, being Omen, he's going to teleport to safety there. And it looks like it's going to be a full rotation coming through. Or maybe not. Maybe a baited rotation after all. They look getting very active on their defense as they go hunting for information.
Yeah, they looked a little bit tentative on their defense, but perhaps making one of the defenders, like you said, just try and bite on something, and, well, Flame is going to have to bite the bullet, and Devamy has traded Viet out.
Oh!
Ray's laid out 2, as a matter of fact. The Killjoy spreading joy to the other team by killing a pair, and now the bomb will be down, and Brian is one of the combatants left and is starting to rotate through towards a long position, which has already got a watchful eye on it.
Oop, maybe that was not where they wanted that one going, but nonetheless, really good equipment upgrade here for the attacking side here, looking to hold down this bomb site. 1 player remaining now, Flame alone against 4, which means I think at this point, surely, especially with how long the bomb's been ticking, you just got to back off from this one. And that's exactly what Flame is doing here.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Too much value sitting on him at the moment, and everybody else is moving back, and that is a thrifty tag there for that round. And ow, turning Sova into a pincushion. That doesn't sound like fun. Either way, 7-9. Team Kick are still in the lead. Viet has picked up the AWP and has full armor, which is interesting because if you're good with the AWP on Jet, it is a terrifying instance to be having to deal with on the server, and it's something that would want to be nipped in the bud very quickly.
Yeah, it has definitely become the standard to have your Jet player be your AWPer, because obviously you can just get out of those peaks so much faster. You can use your abilities to get some new angles. And oh, what a great dart from Ghost!
Oh,
that
wow!
Is off the table. And we're going to see Flamester rotate around to try and recover that weapon.
Even if he wants it, maybe that is not the call to action. Flame does get the frag on the Rice Cooker, but sadly gets self-eviscerated in the process. Got tagged up and tagged out. And now the bomb is down for the Sluggalinis. And now only 2 members remain, Illy and the Cypher on the defense. Brian and Illy are going to have to do a lot of work to break this, but they do have a slight advantage. One of the members is extremely low in terms of health, and they've been caught out. Ghost will get 1, and now it is Brian all on his own, and not anymore. He can't stand no more. A big 4K from Ghost, starting off with a huge scalp, which likely will shake the defense's approach to that AWP buy ever again. Viet might be reconsidering his next plan of economic use.
Yeah, well, certainly they don't have the money for another operator here. In fact, the economy pretty much in tatters here. This will be the last hurrah for the Team Kick It economy. If they can't win this one, they are going to need to take an eco. So they're trying to force into this one. Rice Cocker will be taking the Spectre. Everyone else has the rifles. And meanwhile, the attackers here fully loaded to bear, as you'd expect. They've won a couple of rounds in a row now.
Definitely want to keep the good times rolling. The Omen on the defense is extremely tagged up too, and that's going to be a point of notice in terms of the configurations that Team Kickit do end up employing, wanting to protect the asset as much as possible. The attackers want to move into Vienna mid and making them pay. Flamestar and Brian have pulled the advantage very heavily towards Team Kickit, and the Sluggalinis are really looking to retake the site at 3 versus 2. It is doable, but looking at the HP on both sides, you're going to be seeing a lot of walking wounded and a lot of tentative plays because of it.
One enemy remaining.
Bok Choy's shifted over into Hell here. Last player on the side. They got a suspicion he's in there, but in the end, almost line up for him and everything, but Brian is able to shut that one down. That was very close to being the other way, with both of them getting picked up and it becoming a 1v1 against Flamestar. So that one shut down there. It will be another round win here for Team Kickit, rather.
Team Kickit, yes.
Lost up my teams, and one that they desperately needed to keep themselves alive here in terms of the economy. So they're able to pick that one up. It still wasn't a cheap round for them, but they've got enough. Almost, yeah, they've got enough to buy up guns for everyone. Again, they will be running a single Spectre there. Meanwhile, Sluggalinis, 5 rifles out as useful and plenty of economy. And that's an early Hunter's Fury coming in from Flamestar. And yeah, he's tagged up one of them a little bit from that. Not bad. Could have gotten a lot more from that one, but that's the luck of those sort of early blind Hunter's Furies there. A couple of shock darts not really finding purchase either. But, oh wow, they are all there. And here comes the pressure.
Definitely, they've slowly developed onto the side, have the slugs. You can see their trails all over the place. A 5 versus 5 retake on the cards after Bok Choy has put the spike down and Ghost got ran down. We can call them Ghostbusters after that. Flame will get that title. Bok Choy did trade onto Brian. And Rice Cooker really wanting to be the linchpin alongside Illy. And Rice Cooker and Illy have cleaned house as a pair and have retaken the site. The spike will be diffused. And 11 is on the board for Team Kickit. And the Sluggalinis, despite that early promise, just got flat out ran over by raw firepower.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's keeping the economy competitive, but we're slowly running out of rounds here. And it's rough. I mean, both teams, they're able to buy into this one. We're finally starting to see Sluggalini economy again starting to be stretched. They've still got a bit of money in the tank. It should see them through until the end of the game, unless their fortunes shift. And honestly, they definitely want their fortunes to shift here, because right now they are coming up short. Looks like the hit is stacked up for maybe a mid or A push. Bit of early aggression there, but mid control. Where are those attackers going? They're backing off. They're hoping for maybe some aggression out of the defense here. They haven't had a lot of luck on the attack so far. So maybe trying to catch someone out. We do have Ray on the aggressive lurk here. Ray has had some really good work with that. The rounds that they've won, it's usually been Ray catching some people off guard, creating some openings here. It will be the push along Catwalk, and this discipline coming in from Brian picks up 3 for his trouble.
Fiend's there to do the assist and clean up the rest, and now it is match point for Team Kickit. I noticed the Cypher just being tucked into the cubby, just biding his time, waiting for that aggression to come in from Catwalk and mid, and it couldn't have gone any better for him.
You love the trigger discipline when you see them let one person go by because they don't check the corner. And you know that they're just going to get the drop on a big group. Absolutely pays off, converting into 3 kills there. incredible performance there. And this whole team has really come alive after a bit of a slow start from Team Kickit. They're looking to lock this one down. It is match point for this map, a map point rather, I should say. Then 12-8, and again, they have been looking so good on this defense. The Sluggalinis really struggling to get onto these sites.
Definitely, and looking at the current state of affairs, yeah, their weapons are good, the armor is not. 3 of them do have full armor, 2 of them only with the light. And, well, given how little they have to play with now in terms of time, this is essentially match point. You're playing for OT from this break, and even that one flash, the recon dart, is going to alert the defenders into what potential attacks there will be. They might think, oh, there were a couple that were put up on the recon. They might start to rotate through, and Viet might be wise to their tactics. 3 moving in towards trees, and he is positioned to do so. Paranoia does go out, and Bok Choy gets the better of that Jet, and Illy does end up avenging the Jet and getting 2 frags there. Now it's on to Ray. Ray, not anymore, and now it's Ghost versus 2 to keep the slugs alive, or they might be put in a jar and put on display somewhere.
He's not got a lot of time to do it either. He's got to pick up that spike. He's got to get the plant down almost straight away, but he's not alone on this site. Doesn't have time to wait for it to be clear. And Brian actually allows him to get it down, but will take him out. Pick up the defuse there, and that will be map 1 going to Team Kickit here after a really convincing defensive side.
Indeed, and a little bit of a song and dance will bring Team Kickit to the win column for this first match of the evening. The first map of the evening, rather, because we only have 1 match on the card for Conquest Clash and our 3rd week. That was really a defensive showing from both sides. The attacks didn't quite know how to get going, but Team Kickit got there just enough on their opening breaks on the attacking side to get enough leverage.
Absolutely. I mean, looking back at the compositions of both of these teams, they're both playing a very defensive comp in there. Neither team is really coming in with a huge amount of flashes or offensive utility. You're not seeing the breaches, you're not seeing the phoenixes, so it's not perhaps too surprising that both of these teams doing a lot better on their defensive halves. But in the end, Team Kickit really shutting it down, and the Sluggalinis just struggling to take these sites. They, a lot of the time, were really only slipping one through on the rotate in the late part of the round, if they were getting it down at all. So really that ended up being the big difference, and that's why we see a neck-and-neck game in the first half, just really running away there. And, well, we'll be moving over to the second map, which means an opportunity to maybe change things up, maybe set the pace a little differently here. But it depends on what map we'll be going over to. It looks like it will be Bind for our map here. And that's definitely not the easiest map in the world on the defense. In fact, probably one of the better maps to attack on. So definitely opening up some extra options.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not as weighted heavily towards the defenders as other maps in the pool. Where the pool is rather small.
Yes,
we've gone over that before. But Bind is definitely one of the most even, but one of the most creative maps too in terms of light up. So you'll be getting a lot of mileage out of your Sovas, your Killjoys, and all that type of jazz, and maybe even a couple of cheeky Cypher positions if they do end up going in that direction. But we're just slowly waiting for everybody to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And well,
do you want to?
I will lead us out to a little bit of a breather. Everybody's wanting to sort of recoil and regroup and maybe even get a snack or something after that run. And we will be going to do the same. We will see you back in 5 minutes for week 3 of season 2 of Conquest Clash. My cohort has been Pironious. I've been Cyberwaste. Thank you for your company on AOE Sports. We'll be back very soon.
Never stop dreaming. 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 Never stop Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop
And welcome back to week 3 of season 2 of Conquest Clash, and we are wasting no time. We are moving on to Bind, and I am Cyberwayside, joined by Pironious. And to bring you up to speed, Team Kickit, who are the winners of the previous map, are on the attackers for the opening on the attacking side for the opening gambit, and your defending side will be Sluggalinis, who kind of let that one get out of control and maybe want to rein things in, being the defending side.
Yeah, we'll see if we see a very different lineout coming out here or not. Both of the teams in the previous matchup really struggled on the entries there, both definitely playing a stronger defense than they did on attack. But Team Kickit in particular played a very solid defense, and their attack, it started off slow, but when their Rainer player Illy came alive, it started opening up some of those sites for them. They were able to get a neutral first half there, picking up as many rounds as they lost. So that, in the end, was able to coast them through to a cruisy victory in their defensive half. Going to be seeing a very similar lineup here from Team Kickit. Again, Illy over onto that Reyna. Big difference will be they have dropped the Omen and instead picked up a Brimstone as Rice Cooker swaps their way across. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Sluggalinis, they are opting into that Phoenix rather than the Reyna now. Danby over onto the Phoenix there. Maybe gives them a bit more offensive potential at the very least. I mean, it's kind of neutral. It's two flashes, two flashes. Phoenix has a few more sight-obscuring tools, and with the Reyna nerfs coming through, does mean there's a bit more he can do for the team, but not as much regenerative options there. We'll see how that pays out in the end. Sluggalinis, they have a lot to prove here. If they want to keep their hopes alive here, they need to come in strong. But they will be starting on the defense, which is an opportunity to maybe take some of the pressure off, given both of these teams looked a lot better on their defense. Maybe they can really shut down Team Kickit, get the confidence in their own play back together, and come into the second half looking strong. But we will see. We're in the pistol round now, and we have the action coming down on the B site there. Will be an early pickup by Illy, who is continuing to really show their stuff after a slow start.
Yes, indeed. And moving out from Hookah onto the B site, Ray just lays out Flamestar, and there's a cacophony of frags end up coming to their conclusion. As quickly as it was on the attacking side, it was the defenders that end up being victorious, as the Slugs will draw first blood.
Absolutely, that will be the first round away. Illy, the only one picking up anything from the attacking side there. And with this early win, they're going to buy up. That's going to be full armor across the board here for them. And Spectres in hand for a lot of the players. Flame will be opting into that Marshal instead. And when you're playing the Jet, why not? Danby, the only one not going to be picking up any sort of weapon upgrade. Going to be sticking on the Ghost there. Meanwhile, on the attacker's side, it's going to be two Sheriffs. Oh, Danby picks up two and then gets traded out. That's a lot of value there. That will be the Ghost donated over, but the damage has been done, and looks like they're actually going to get that spike down, though.
They actually did, and that is a big, big get. You could say, yeah, it was a small victory. Now it's only the Brimstone remaining, and not anymore. The Rise is overdone and has to be chucked out. Ghost is the one that does the say-so for that. And Boxtrade left on halfway, and the defuse will come through. And all things considered, that was a good enough round for Team Kickit. They at least got the bomb down and enabled themselves to have a little bit of a brighter day ahead, looking into their buy, looking at some Phantoms, a Vandal on Viet. Well, I mean, if you have the fragment power that he possessed on the previous map, I mean, you can't really blame him. So 2 Vandals, 3 Vandals, 2 Phantoms on the attacking side, and well, it's a gimme for the defenders, so they're just sticking to what they had.
Yeah, Danby's going to pick up the Sheriff here now, being the only person who dropped in that previous round. So still saving a lot of money there. That may be a nest egg going towards an Operator. So I imagine Danby's probably not going to be the one using that one, if that is the case. But not going for as aggressive a defense as the previous round, because Danby went straight in that previous round, picked up 2 with the Ghost. They're playing it a bit more passive now, but they're still taking really aggressive angles, getting the information out there. They've seen someone up A short. It's going to tell the rest of the team that maybe, just maybe, that's where the hit is going to be coming down on. They did have a lurker posted up with Brian. I think maybe got spotted out by a bit of utility.
Got tagged by the recon drone, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Tagged by Ghost Aldroid at Hookah.
Actually going to see a rotation onto B from the defense, but no, the Phoenix now running back as the hit starts to come down on A.
And that was maybe all that they needed. The site will slowly begin to be enveloped upon. Flamester does have the spike on his back, and now in the ground, and now the defense are on the clock. Ray does get 1. Flame does get another, so now it's changed things completely. A 3 versus 3, and Damami has been touted as the heavy hitter. And Flame has 2. Don't forget about them. Now it's made things extremely difficult. Viet has pulled back 1,
enemy remaining.
and now it is down to a 1 versus 1 between Flame and Viet. A Jet versus Jet. Who will blink first?
This is rough because... Oh, Flame!
Got it.
Ghost.
I think he might just have it too. The beeping is beginning to
he's got that
hasten.
one.
He's got it. And that was extremely tight. Both of these maps have had extremely tight follow-up rounds where, yeah, it was a one round, but they lost a lot of economy to actually get that round. And it's keeping the teams honest in the early stages.
Yeah, that said, this is where the momentum really starts to come into play. Still a lot of money available here for the Sluggalinis, who have picked up their first 3 defensive rounds. Will be an eco coming through from Team Kickit. They're going to be going mostly half armor. Viet's actually going to go for the full armor. But they've got a couple of sheriffs, a frenzy, and a stinger. So the weapon compilation... Oh, I see why that's now coming out. The knives coming out from Viet. That's why the full armor. I was wondering. Didn't think to check the ultimate. And that's going to be instrumental. They're looking to go for a quick push onto the site. The utility coming out from the Killjoy really slowing them down. And Viet are going to get caught out in the open. Gunned down by Ray, who will pick up 3. Only 1 trade back from Flamestar onto Ghost. Illy picking up Danby as well. So it's now a 3v2. Make that a 3v1 as Ray picks up the 4th on Flamester. But that is the spike loose as Illy rotates around for an A plant.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like they've just caught on the defending side. And Ray is starting to move. And the alarm bot tripped. So there's definitely got an alert to a potential position for Illy to be hiding. Who's currently hiding in lamps. Ray will probably want this ace. Won't end up happening, but does get the trade, does flame. And then the defuse will end up coming through. And the flawless run does continue for the Slugs.
Well, this is what they need. They need to have the tight defense. They need to get as many rounds as possible because it was proven that their attack is somewhat lackluster. So they definitely need a strong lead before this second half if they want to make a go at it. So far, so good for them.
Definitely looking in a good state in the early goings on. Looking at the attacking side, it's looking like a full buy. Shorter tripwire on the side of Brian, but I guess on the attacking side, you don't use them that much. So
Stay safe.
it's not
Yeah,
exactly
especially after the patch that now seems quite a while ago where they disappear on death, so you can't even reliably use them as a lurker. Flame is set up with the operator, will take down Viet. It's a good opening kill here. Moving around to that high position to again hold down a horrible angle on a short. But Illy slowly creeping up in bathrooms may be the one to open this one up.
Could be. Flame didn't really see anything. The runner back did get popped by the Phoenix. Bok Choi got laid out by Illy, and Flame just torched Illy to death on that one, and Illy's going to be feeling that one for quite a while. Brimsmoke has moved out onto the site, letting the intent be known. The daggers have been brought to bear by Flame. This left click wasn't really all that fruitful. Brian had laid Flame down. The bomb is being planted and got drawn away by the Hunter's Fury briefly, at the very least. And Flamester didn't like that, but knows that the utility has been expunged and is moving ahead. And there goes the swarm nades. Right on cue. Not a good sign for Flamester. And they do get...
Just been incredible with the shock darts. He knows his angles and he puts them where they need to be. Gonna take down Rice Cooker as well and is now a 1v2. It should be a fairly easy defuse, especially with that Killjoy utility still there to sniff it out.
I say it's all but done. Ghost is looking to stick it. Has gotten it halfway, but does he have the patience to do it?
Oh no!
Oh no!
You forget.
Brian, the saving grace there, will get the clutch and the 4K. But just as quickly as it was in the hands of the Suns, it just fell right away from them. Thanks to Brian just being patient and knowing all he had to do was just separate both the jewels and make sure that they don't trade. And as soon as that was made possible, it all just fell into place.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy thing to do on Cypher, playing into Killjoy utility, needing to win a duel with no entry tools of your own. They manage that one and they get away with it on just a slither of health. Now we see perhaps the start of a comeback here for Team Kickit. So looking to open this one up. Again, they're playing it slow, they're playing it cautious.
Viet going on top of the box. Might want that second dash back, just dash straight.
Oh no, that was to try and bait something out of the defenders there. In the end, doesn't work out, but nonetheless, they will manage to get through onto the site. Neural theft comes out as well. It tells them where the remaining defenders are. They're able to clean that one up. It's a 3v5. They've taken control of the site. The spike is not really in position to go down, so... Brian just catching Ghost there, completely unaware. But in turn gets picked up by Ray. You know, 1v3. I don't like Ray's chances here.
Ray's gonna give it a go. Looking to give it a go though.
Uh-oh.
Knowing that the flag's coming, it definitely does now. Flamestar has gone down. He'll have to ace get this out. It's definitely possible. Illy has been put down. There is the cage put down. Ray, no.
Oh, he doesn't know. He didn't know where Rice Cooker was.
And no, he had no idea where Rice Cooker was actually stationed, and using that to his advantage. And that will put the march in full order for Team Kickit. They're putting their boots to the ground and wanting to get back to an even footing.
Yeah, and Sluggalinis, their economy's broken here. They're going to have to go for an eco round, which means that it's entirely likely that Team Kickit are able to close this one up. And this has shades of exactly what happened on Ascent. Sluggalinis, they picked up a number of early rounds there. But then things started to get away, and an opening was made for Team Kickit, and
one big
take the advantage. So yeah, Danby takes down Brian really early in that round, which is a good start. That's a weapon upgrade that they desperately need, but not an easy gun to go and retrieve, unfortunately. Looks like we will be seeing Flame going for the rotate to do it, though. Flamestone, meanwhile, picks up 2, and they've taken complete control of the B site. It's a 3v3, but a huge weapon advantage there for the team now holding that site.
And Bok Choy moving through the links, moving towards mid. Hopefully, at least trying to breach onto the site, but it's looking to be quite a difficult affair. He has an upgrade to a Vandal, so that is a big get. Flame is sitting on the defuse behind a smoke wall. Will he end up getting it? Oh no, he got shot to death by Flamestar, who's on the verge of an ace, but Viet will make sure everything goes off without a hitch. And the gap is now 1, but it did get extremely chaotic, extremely tight, and almost a diffuse right under their noses.
Yeah, it's definitely close here, but again, this is not what the Sluggalinis need, because we've seen that Team Kickit plays a really strong defense, at least on Ascent. You can imagine that they have a similarly tight defense on this map, maybe not quite as strong as due to the nature of the maps themselves. You definitely don't want them back in the round this much, and again, this is the economy on the line for the Sluggalinis. They lose this one, they're going to be stuck into another eco again. So they need to make this one happen. Their early momentum has all but disappeared. Now we see some aggression coming through. Danby pushing up, picking up Viet on space, getting out of there. They did see the Cypher in there as well, but haven't closed it down yet. And now Brian and Illy winning their respective duels. That's an open site.
Yes, indeed. It's the easiest way to breach onto a site is just lay out everybody that's defending it. That's exactly what is happening. And
they do know that Danby's still lurking around somewhere. Illy picks up Ray. Oh, Danby gets the drop on Brian there. That's a key pickup there. He's got the run it back available as well. Maybe looking to, back away to a safer spot to pop it. Now he's going to go back in. Just looking to try and get some information as to where they are. They've actually completely backed off, gone for the rotate there. So the run it back not really getting much value. Now the Hunter's Fury coming out.
Spike planted.
Standing ahead.
Again, not much coming out from that one. The spike is down. It's a 2v2. And they're both stacked up here along the defender's spawn. Not a lot of utility remaining.
Only bright side, there's no armor on Rice Cooker and he only has 70 HP.
Ooh.
And the high HP man is down. Flamestar takes a damn bit and now it's made the job a lot easier for the people involved, and the spike is diffused right under Rice Cooker's nose and actually ends up getting wiped out for that one. So that is the Slugs back to winning ways now with 5 on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely needed for them, but they want to get the momentum back underway. The economy is still decent here for Team Kickit, but it's starting to get a bit vulnerable. They don't quite have all the weaponry. Well, they should be able to buy up another rifle. In fact, it looks like Viet is actually going to be pulling out the knives this round just to save some money. Just to try and keep them alive there. Meanwhile, I mean, the Sluggalinis, they don't have all the armor they'd like here because their economy is still stretched. The winner of this round is going to set the pace for the next couple. So it's a very important round here. And already a lot of defensive information available from that recon. But Hunter's Fury really pressuring Ghost here. He manages to duck and weave his way through it. No damage taken there. From the shadows committed, is going to see some more backup deep striking into that B site as well. But in the meantime, A site has been slowly pushed and Brian's taken out Flame. Ural Theft goes down. It's going to give them a lot of information about where the remaining defenders are. It's maybe the opportunity as they consolidate on this A site.
Yes, indeed. And Flamestar is setting the procedure up for the spike to go down outside of the van. And that's put the defense now on a bit of a back foot. Wait and see how they're slowly wanting to envelop the site and keep the buddy system together, which is a good call from all sides. Illy will eliminate Danby. Ray, continuing his winning ways, eliminated Rice Cooker. But Brian keeping everybody at bay will claim 2.
Oh, how did
Ray
you
is
miss
all
that?
that is less. And oh man. So close yet so far for him. And the gap is 1 once again, but Ray, you've really got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, they are able to close that one out. And that will be the momentum going in favor of Team Kickit. Sluggalinis starting to struggle. Again, they're going to have to eco this round. There's another one given up. That's going to put them in a precarious position in that penultimate round of the half coming up soon. And as a result, they're going to be... It's almost a full eco, only a tiny investment into this one. A couple of pistols. Flame will secure an orb and use that to pull out the knives. So it will be knives and armor on Flame. Maybe trying to use that one to take out some people, upgrade some rifles, and win this one back. But yeah, now they've heard the frenzy there from Ray, and they know that there's not much in the way of weaponry on their opponent's side. Flamestar will delete Ray, and they will take control of this B site fairly quickly.
And definitely will now, with Ghost being taken out of the picture. Bomb will be planted by Flamestar, and damn it, did take down Viet, but that's the first step in a long process to retake this B site.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate the killing blow wasn't done by Flame either, because it means the knives didn't refresh. They recover the weaponry, but Flame has used up their knives now, just stuck with the classic there. And we'll get taken out fairly quickly. It's just one remaining person, Bok Choy, looking to make it happen. Does manage to take down a Rice Cooker, but they need to buy a bit more. Buying time is not what they need. They need to clear out all these attackers, and that was not happening. So the scoreline will be evened up here, 5v5. We're on to the second last round of the half, and we have an awkward position to be in for the Sluggalinis, because if they want to be competitive in this round, they need to buy, but that means that they're not going to have a lot of money next round. They do have a lot of loss bonus on favor, so they might be able to put together something competitive, but this is not where you want to be. Very awkward position in that second to last round.
Definitely, especially with a game that has such an emphasis on economy like Valorant. Definitely don't want to be caught short. Flame with the Judge moving really aggressively in showers, and the orb was picked up behind him. Has to bait a member who would be outside to move through, at least teasing with the idea, and has likely seen the figure of Flame in the showers there, and Brian was taken out in the interim by Danby. And that is the runner back triggered as well on the back of that.
Yeah, around the corner, gets the flash, manages to drop Flamestar with the spike. And then the recall coming through, and Ray swinging there to pick up the Viet on speed as they go for the spike. Great turnabout there. This is looking pretty good here now for the Sluggalinis, who really needed this one. As they start to consult that, they know where the spike is. And none of the attackers have been able to recover it just yet. And the timing on that as well. Illy has been spotted out by Danby, but does not know that he's there. Oh, there it is. Very nice, Danby. Good distraction coming through from the teleplay there. Now they've got complete control of that spike, and it is just a lone Brimstone. And the recon dart makes him give away his position as well, but no one needs to swing him because, well, he needs to move, and in the end, Ghost will pick him up, and he tries to do just that.
Yeah, Ghost will say, "See you, Space Cowboy," to Mr. Brimstone there. And the lead has been gained by the Sluggalinis for the first time in what feels like a while as we go into the last round before the change. But we've seen this situation play out before, Pironious.
Yeah.
It has the potential to go even going into the change, and then the opposition will run away with it. But the downside is, looking at Rice Cooker specifically, he's not having a good line of it. He does have full use though, so he is still very much useful. But everyone moving out of short. Dabby's moved behind everybody with the aid of Lim and Cloak, and that is how an attack is pinched and thwarted, and now it is all on Viet, and he is done thanks to Bok Choy, and that is 7 going into the change for the Sluggalinis, and just on that alone, it's going to be a really good thing for them and to get that momentum too, because it was so decisive of that last round.
Yeah, that was at the right shooting range there, and in the end, works out in their favor. I think the attackers, I mean, they telegraph where they're going to be playing from with that orbital strike, and instead of running away from the orbital strike, everyone charges forwards, gets out of its blast range, and just mows down the unwitting members of Team Kick-It. So really nice heads-up play there from Sluggalinis. We'll see how they do in the second half. Previously, they really struggled on the offense here. Let's see how they do now. Obviously, winning this first pistol round, getting that early momentum in their favor is absolutely what they need to try and maintain this lead. Team Kick-It, on the other hand, will be looking to close things back. If they can win the pistol round here, they basically tie up the scoreline.
Indeed. And they're slowly getting traded back, and the red side is just running right over the defense.
Well, you say that, there's only one member of the defense that's dropped down, so...
That is true.
Now we have a 3v2 retake in the pistol round. Recon dart goes out. Oh, lands in the teleporter. That's not going to give a lot of information there, but Bok Choy picks up 2 with the frenzy hiding there in U-Haul. And so that will be the first round going through in favor of the Sluggalinis, looking to try and even up this series.
They're definitely making a good go of it, and a very good case to say, yeah, this is us as a garden friend and as a potential mascot. wouldn't it look cute on the a shirt? Either way, we're going into the second round of the second half, and lots of submachine guns, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of stingers on the defense, which is extremely interesting. They're going to be looking to close the gap and expect a little bit of aggression to just rail the opposition with bullets. And the firebomb towards Hookah from Rice will keep the attackers at bay, at least for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the round 2 Stingers is it's really designed to capitalize on a lack of armor. And well, as you can see, there isn't really a lack of armor here. Full armor across the board from the attackers. They've gone heavily into this one, along with 4 Spectres as well. They definitely do not want to give any opening here for the defense. And after a bit of initial probing towards B, the full rotation onto A, defenders had all stacked up on B, so it's going to be a free plant for them. But Flame able to, well, not really get a lot done there, catching the rotates coming through, and we'll see them now backing up, putting a little bit more range between them, because they have the slightly better weaponry.
And Illy tripping the teleporter has alerted Danby at the very least in showers. As the slow retake will come in, and it comes in thick and fast. Illy and Brian will do the main proceedings, and just as quickly as it was taken back by Team Kickit. And that will be the gap at 2 now. And just as quickly as the momentum looked like it was going to go to the Sluggalinis, given how dominant they were looking in the previous rounds leading up to it, it's swung in a really nasty way.
Oh yeah, Team Kickit coming back, taking to heart those famous words, electing to sting like a bee there. Stingers putting in great work, and with that, we now go into a very strange round 3 in terms of buys, because there are just weapons all over the place. We have 1 rifle in the field in the hands of Danby, a lot of SMGs, a couple of sheriffs and a judge. It is just hot luck for weapons here, and it looks like we're going to have a big stack pushing up through A short.
Indeed, and I'm really wanting to see this judge go to work. Flame is moving into the lamps and gets his jet counterpart in Viet. And we are still trading evenly, 3 versus 3. Ray is a little tagged up though. That is not what you would want. And Ray is now down. And it is all down to Foxway and Flame. Flame still does have the judge and lays out Brian. And now it is a 1 versus 1. And that recon bolt is going to alert them. And pop right in midair. Flame Salt will get a 3k and the defuse. And in that, what would we call that kind of buy? We call that like the something like the leftovers that was essentially
that
a force.
was a straight force buy from both teams there. Like they were scrambling for whatever they can put up, and because of that, well, we're going to see a lot of economic advantage now. As Team Kickit, they pick up the round. As a result, they pick up the rifles. Sluggalinis back to the power pistols. They're forced to eco here. And that means that this should be an opportunity now for Team Kickit to even up the score.
Indeed, and not really doing well in terms of util either. There's only one person being Ray, who has the armor. I mean, if you think his ability is good enough, and the form that he's been having tonight, you can't exactly blame him for that. And now he's run away from his cage after picking up that orb. The sentry thrown out to perhaps alert people and his teammates as to what is going on. He got right in Rice Cooker's grill to get the frag there, and the power pistol's actually living up to their namesake. The bomb is now down, and where at an even footing, and now the cage goes down from Ray.
Enzo will pick up Flame, and Viet will take down Ray as well as they come back in this one, and that will be a clean retake there. Lockdown also taken out, and that should be a nice easy defuse. I say should, like, it's going to be an easy defuse. There's no one there to interrupt it. And so with that, it will be 8v8. The scoreline evened up, and likewise the economy's evened up after that round loss. We should have both teams coming in with a full buy of rifles here now, which means whoever wins this round will be setting the pace once more.
And as an aside, I'm absolutely mesmerized by the members on the server that have the fan for the Celestial set. Just watching them constantly twirl it. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, as you said, it is a full buy across the board. And essentially seeing everybody at even keel. Only one Phantom. The Phantom really fallen out of favor since the changes from a little while ago. A bit of a skirmish down towards short. Trying to make each other blink to see who will strike first. And just deplete util for the defenders, which is one of the bigger deals that you could basically move on with. If you expunge a ton of util, it's basically given a lot of power to you as an attacker. A big dig there onto Viet there.
Ooh, look at this! Look at this lurk coming up. Yeah, Brian moving out, stepping, making the play. Picks up one, picks up two. Bok Choy will shut them down, but the damage is done. That is going to see the attackers go for the fast rotate to B. The defense also going to rotate. They may catch each other as they reach the site.
Shadows traveling.
They're coming very close to matching up in terms of time, and yeah, both Ray
30 seconds.
and a couple of the defenders will step onto the side at the same time, and Flamester will
remaining.
take advantage of that. And Flamester's been off tap so far in this map. He's having a heck of a showing, but Flame will stop that momentarily. But now it is all Flame, and that is it. The trade was worked to perfection, with Illy getting the last laugh, and Team Kick It will kick a hole in the sky in terms of their good fortunes. They're now leading 9-8 and have a good set of ultimates on deck.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in for Team Kick It. They're looking to try and close this one out, and Flamester has just been absolutely on fire, as you say. I mean, normally your Sova player is not your top fragger. A lot of the time, they're usually someone who hangs back a bit more. It's more about gathering info, but Flamester has just been so on point, not only being great in those aim duels, but also incredible shock dart plays. They know their dart angles. They've been lining them up and just getting so much work done with the Sova utility as well. Definitely a shining star on the team. And Viet will take down Flame, but Illy gets dropped by Danby there. So 1-for-1 trade here. There's a bit of an early skirmish on the A site, but the teleporter play comes through. Fast rotate to B. Little do they know, the defenders are entirely set up here and ready for it.
And the run it back by Danby does pay dividends in the end. Rice Cook has been sent to the bench, and now the spike is now down. The alarm got tripped, and Neural Theft does end up going out there, and just as quickly as it started, it all finished, and Team Kick It will kick themselves into double digits.
Yeah, it's looking very good for Team Kick It now. That should have broken the economy for the Sluggalinis again as well. Oh, I mean, it's kind of broken. I mean, when you've got this much loss bonus, I suppose you're at a point where you could just force into every round, but they are going to elect to go for the E-code and maybe bring out some more consistent weaponry in a future round. Oh, now as I say that, no, maybe they are going for the force.
I did see Ray put in a...
Yeah.
I thought it was a Phantom, but it looks like he changed his
Vandal,
mind.
yeah.
With the Vandal, yeah. So we got the Stinger, couple of Sheriffs, 3 Sheriffs, 2 armored up being ghosted Ray. And knowing Ray's current stat line, you can't exactly blame him either. And Viet just got put down with authority by Dan by me.
Yeah, not the easiest gun to recover though, and they aren't even going to go for it. Instead, Brian going to get picked up by Flame there. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade. Not even really much in the way of dink damage back onto Brian. They've touched him a little, but it's barely worth mentioning. And now everyone is sort of bottled up there in hookah. Still, no one there to put the pinch on them from the other side as of yet. So they could rotate out of that yet. Time slowly ticking away. They need to make some sort of play, and yes, they are going to rotate back to A.
And definitely will, with Omen using the ultimate and Ray catching Brian in transition. The bomb will now go down, and Flames are just put down Bok Choy with the Hunter's Fury. That is a big get. Sadly, the bomb did end up going down, and that's put the defense into a little bit of a predicament. And we'll wait and see how that ends up coming to fruition. And Ghost
Scary thing
puts
is,
out
Ghost has their own Hunter's Fury, which they can just use to cover that bomb.
And that's
They
pretty much it.
might have fired it off a little too early, though. But doesn't matter. Ray is there to clean up, and that will be the round picked up by the Sluggalinis.
And it was it turned on its head so quickly with that ultimate from Omen. It holds so much power, especially if you carry the spike. You can be convincing for ages, and then you just hear the low voice line, and then you hear the bell. It's like, oh, we got fooled, and then the Omen disappears. The gap is now 1. We're going into a new round, and the defense now is looking a little bit hamstrung. They do have a good chunk of weaponry, well, aside from Viet, but that is looking to be amended with the Blade Storm at the ready.
Absolutely. That's going to allow them to come into this one and be super competitive, but they have to worry about losing this round. Ray has the lockdown in hand, maybe looking to...
Run.
Yep, there it will go down there. That's going to telegraph that it is planning to be a B-side hit, but it will also force a lot of people to back away, give up a lot of those angles for free. A lot of utility coming in over the top as well. But no one's really there to get picked up by that utility. Now the counter utility coming in as they look to retake, and here comes the Thunder.
Indeed, and here come the spooks. Ghost does end up getting a couple of frags. Bokshoi gets caught in the way out just after the plant. Now, Viet, with the Blade Storm at the ready, now has 2 to deal with. Them being Ghost and Flame. And Flame might have spotted the gun barrel there. And didn't quite like what he saw and just ran over. So that is not how you want to do it, but that is how they wanted to tie it up. We are now at 10, and this is even more competitive than the previous map. They're fighting tooth and nail for each frag and each round.
They really are, but the economy has finally been broken for the defenders. They're going to be forced into a force buy here. They don't really want to give up any more rounds, especially with the points even. I mean, the last thing you want is to give up 3 points, so they are going to go in hard for this one, leaving just enough money in the tank to stay competitive next round. They need to make something happen with it. They've played they're going to be playing a more aggressive defense here. So far, it's a 1-to-1 trade.
Very quick, and Viet being as stifling as they have been for a long time. Laying down another member, and Ray doing very much the same. With that brim smoke going down as well, that will either signal that the bomb is going down or the bomb might be transported elsewhere, and the brimstone just wanted to make a bit of hullabaloo, a little bit of a distraction, but the judge will strike down, and Rice Cooker will finish that off. That's the round that they needed, and what a time to do it, and what a way to do it. I had an eye on Brian with the judge for the longest time, thinking it's either going to pay off brilliantly or it's going to hurt a lot. And it was the forward for that one. Big get.
Yeah, huge round to pick up there, especially in a bit of an awkward force buy, but it means they have to play a different sort of defense, a much more active, aggressive one, and it manages to catch the Sluggalinis off guard. Team Kicker edging ahead in the lead. Again, both of these teams, they're able to pull buy into this one. A lot of utility coming down. The big fight coming down on B.
A very big fight and very quick. Flame eliminates Rice Cooker, and Ryan's got a nano swarm at his feet. That is not going to be good because
right through the smoke.
That's a very good consolation and a big scalp, because we have touted again and again how valuable Ray has been. Ryan staying in the elbow. Will he notice the 2 at Arch?
The second one.
Didn't notice the second one, unfortunately, but Flamestar keeping his form up. Now it's shrunk it to a 1 versus 1, but the beeping is hastening ever quicker. And Flash and Danby will get the last frag there, and we are tied at 11. We're going the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Flamestar tries to duck away from the flash. In the end, still gets hit with the full flash. And it's an easy cleanup for Danby as a result, but so close to going any other way. Now it will be another awkward force buy coming out from the defense as they look to make sure they've got enough in the tank for the following round, while still not wanting to give up this one for free. But it is such a rough position to be in. This is looking very good for the Sluggalinis.
Don't want to count them out, but you might have to at this juncture. But if Flame will keep that up, who knows what will happen? Yeah, they've got 15 HP at the moment, but took 2 frags with it. It is well and truly worth it. And now the spike will actually go down. The Hunter's Fury was used there by Flame Stop, trying to get the retake, and Ray was a little bit quicker on the draw there, catching up with the util out. So now it is a 4 versus 2, and barring an absolute Herculean effort by either member alive, it is looking to be match point.
Illy's going to make it happen.
Illy's going to at least make it interesting, and has popped the Empress to even make things interesting, but Danby has laid them down, and that is that. Match point now for the Sluggalinis, but it did look extremely hairy off of the back of Illy's touted ability.
Yeah, big turnaround there from Illy. In the end, not quite enough, but a solid effort nonetheless. Sluggalinis at match point. If they win this one, they'll take us to a 3rd map. Team Kick It, they're looking to try and close this one out. If they pick this one up, they will take it to overtime. Both teams are able to give in the full rifles, but Team Kick It, half armor on 3 members. So definitely a big advantage for the Sluggalinis here as we go into what could be our final round of Bind.
And definitely with the upper hand in terms of the ult department too, and Viet takes out one of the huge ones I was about to bring up, Big Flame, who had the Blame Storm at the ready. But that will not be used because they are no longer on the server, and a big use of the neural theft as well.
Yeah, great start for the defense there. And they're starting to close the map in there. Illy actually going to catch Ray, completely unexpected there, but the hunting party comes out. Danby immediately trades back, removes Illy from there, but that gives them a lot of information about where these remaining members are. Brian picks up Danby as well from the shadows, is infested, but Brian is still there, mowing them down. Ghost will finally end that reign of terror, but it's now 1v3. Ghost needs to get it to his site and get the plant down, then hold it against these remaining 3 members. They do have the Hunter's Fury in their kit at the very least, but that is still a tall order here. We could be going to overtime. 20 seconds left on the clock. They've made the movements towards B. They need to commit to this plant.
Revealing area.
As he does, he's throwing out the recon arrow.
It's going to give everyone a good idea of where he is, and there's the swing. Easy as you like. Viet on speed will clean that one up and take this one to overtime.
Switching sides.
And well, we knew even from the taste of the first map, these two are about as even as you would have liked, and is basically put to task that whole theory has proven to be true. They're fighting tooth and nail, and Team Kick It, I've really enjoyed watching their play on the attacking side at the very least, but on the defense, it was relying a little bit in my notice on either Flamestar or Viet just being extremely strong in the fragging department, and Illy as well, and that might be an issue in the later stages. But now we move into OT, and your defense will still be the side of Team Kick It, and Sluggalinis will still be attacking.
I like this operator coming out from Flame. They put up some really good use previously with it. So far, I mean, it's not, they haven't fired from it, so no one knows it is, no one's aware that there's an operator in play. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a firefight breaking out on the B side. It's a 3v3 there. In fact, everyone's really spread out on this server, just looking for an opening. Bit of utility being used up there. There's the operator coming out. Flame will pick up the counterpart of Viet. It's going to see the spike rotating over towards this B site. 50 seconds left on the clock. They do still have a lurking Illy on A, and it looks like they are. Defense is still keeping split over the two sides.
I mean, they have no reason to rotate. The only real disruption is Ghost being forced away by the Molotov. Now the firefight is slowly beginning to break out. Bryce was brought extremely low, and Ghost just patience will pay off big in the end. And now it is only the Reyna in a one.
Illy needs to go down before the operator gets set up.
Did get one, but that will be all. And the Sluggalinis will be on match point going into the change, because it is changed after each round in OT, as opposed to other titles where you get a little bit more leeway. In this one, no, you don't get any.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Team Kick It, once again, backs to the wall. Sluggalinis is looking to keep this series going, looking to try and take it to a third map. Again, whoever wins this match up is looking to be in a great spot for the rest of their group, because these are both 2-0 teams. Someone has to walk away the loser here today, and it will really set the speed for future payoffs. And Ray going down early to Viet is a great opening for this round. Oh, but Illy trades it back. Oh, that's the second kill picked up. Make the third.
Second frag, and then third.
Members of Sluggalinis falling apart. Team Kick It looking to bring this to double overtime.
And with the spike going down that was on the back of Ghost, this is a very far chance for Danby to pull everything together. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it definitely is now, because Illy will scratch a third onto their rifle, and we need another round.
This is where everyone presses F5 to draw, right? No.
Well, from previous experience, yeah. We need a winner here.
Yeah, absolutely. We do need a winner into this one. Both the teams, again. This time, no operators on the field. Both teams going for the rifles and full armor instead. And this time, all of the attackers stacked up outside of A. They're going to be coming down A short.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
And a lot of aggression, a lot of util with cyber cages, smoke bombs. Flamestar will plant in front of the van right next to the smoke. And despite the paranoia, the bomb will go down. We're in an even 5 versus 5 retake for Team Kick It. Now, wanting to hold on to this site against the Sluggalinis. And it is starting off fruitfully with very little damage being exchanged until the end of that stanza. Ghost and Ray will end up slimming things down, and Flame will at least distract people, and Bok Choy decides to stick it right under their nose. And they would have won anyway after getting eliminated entirely, but match point once again for the Slugs.
So we're going into another one. Again, no operators on the field. Both teams opting in. Oh, maybe actually Viet. Maybe, yeah, Viet is going to go for the operator there. So we will have a defensive operator on Viet on the Jet. Everyone else bringing in along their choice of rifles. There's once again Team Kick It looking to close this one out. Well, they're looking to even this up, bring it to triple overtime so they can try and close this one out. Sluggalinis, they want to close out the map and take us to a third.
Cage triggered.
A lot of aggression moving towards the B side, a lot of early firefights going on.
Early rotates coming through as well, but no one's actually committing to that site.
And After the orb got picked up on long there, despite that early aggression, they're moving back on the side of the Sluggalinis, perhaps not liking the current state of affairs and just waiting for someone on Team Kicker to bite, who is a little bit short in the HP department, but it's nothing to really write home about. The Sova's down to half HP.
Yeah, Flames. I mean, when you're the Sova player, you can afford to sit back a bit more, provide that sort of long range utility instead. So he's not in a huge amount of danger. But Danby picking up Viet. It's a great start. It's the operator off the table as well. Big pickup there, and that's going to see the B site swarmed over. They still have to worry about people in elbow. Brian is there. Going to get flushed back a little bit from the utility. Yeah, we'll pick up Ghost. And swings around. Ray will win that duel, though. Danby will pick up Flamestar as well. This is looking, and it will in fact be the closeout from the Sluggalinis there, which will bring our overall score to 1 apiece. Which means that's right, we're going to a map 3.
Yes, indeed. And we will be waiting to see who actually ends up taking the loss for this set, because both of these teams went in 2-0 off of big results and, well, a marathon performance there by both teams. And Sluggalinis did end up being the ones to edge it all out, and we need one more map to settle it all. And just by the process of elimination and trends, I would be hazarding a guess that we will be going to Haven to conclude everything.
Yeah, it does seem likely that Haven would be our third and final map. Split is very much one of those maps where either you love it or you hate it. And the teams that love it really love it because they practice on it a lot. We know already that neither of these teams are particularly big on the practice department, so I don't imagine it would be the map of choice. And of course, Icebox. No one likes Icebox. So,
yeah, no, just by the process of elimination. I know that Icebox was touted to try and get to the competitive rotation. I think it will get there, but it's going to take a while.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of at the moment, Icebox is in a very similar place to a certain other map in a certain other game that basically no one ever picks. And
I think we might have to eat our words, Pironious, because looking at the server,
maybe we will be going to Split.
we may actually be going to Split. Yeah, Icebox was banned in the vetoes that ended up going on, which, well, really isn't that surprising. Nah. And I can actually respect that, because Haven is another one of the long-standing maps in the rotation, and it might just have everything done on it, and they just don't want to go through the motions and have overtime into infinity ad nauseum. So Split is actually quite the interesting choice because of the complexity of its layout.
Yeah, I mean, that verticality really does affect things. It means that there are certain heroes that don't see a lot of play elsewhere that come out a lot on Split. Viper sees a lot of play on Split, especially compared to maps that aren't Split. And likewise, it tends to be a map that the Sova players actually don't play Sova. And instead, you start to see some razors coming out on both sides, a lot more of taking those blind corners with explosive force. So it does play out very differently to a lot of the other maps in the game, and that's why you sort of get this situation where some teams are really, really good on it because they practice hard on it and they've got their rollouts for it, and other teams ban it at every instance they can because they do not like playing the map. They do not want to have to learn a new playstyle to play the map, and understandable position to be in, really. But we're just taking a short break by the looks of it while some of the players get a drink. And until we get the go-ahead from them, we are stuck waiting for this third and final map.
That actually reminds me, I have to go and look for my water bottle. It is very important as a caster, a player, or someone that is talking a lot or playing a lot to stay hydrated, and we will give you the chance to do the same as we go to a brief intermission going into the final map of this set of Week 3 of Conquest Clash in their second season, powered by AOE Sports. I have been joined by Pironious. I am Cyberways. I have enjoyed your company. We'll be back very soon. And welcome back to Week 3 of Season 2 of Conquest Clash, powered by AOE Sports, and we are wasting no time going into the final map of this best of 3 set. I'm Cyberways, I'm joined by Pironious, so we are going to split for our final map. And we're seeing a repeat of the maps, of the previous maps lineups, but not in the same order. We're having a couple of changes in terms of who is playing what.
Yeah, a few people swapping around their roles, and I suppose as predicted, there will be no Sovers on this map. It's just not a great map for the Sover, and so Flamestar is going to be going over to the Sage, and Ghost also going over to the Sage. So it will be Sages out instead of Sovers here as we make our way in, and Flame will be shifting back over to that Raze as well, who is quite good on this map. So really no surprises there. Other than that, these teams looking very familiar, and this will be the one to end it all. Both these teams fighting really close together. Sluggalinis able to pick up Bind after dropping Ascent, so this will be the one to determine really the standings for the group going forwards, for the division rather going forwards. Both these teams looking to close this one out. We get ready to undergo the pistol round here, and it will be the Team Kicker on attack with the Sluggalinis on defense, and Flame dropping in a lot of fadeaway utility there. Weefy picking up one with the Shorty, getting traded back. Trades continuing there. 3v3 now.
It was looking to be a very quick A hit,
One
and
enemy
Flame
remaining.
tucked to the back of the sights, put a stop to that. Ray now one as well. Now it's only Illy in a 1-3, and
Spike in a bit of an awkward position as well.
yeah, Spike's on the ramp there. That's
Should be able to
basically
pick it up
I
without
got this
speaking
bite.
the corner, but they will see that get picked up.
Definitely will, and if it wasn't going to be Ray, it was going to be Flame who got the final say for that one, and well, they were banking on pure aggression for that one, did Team Kick It, and it just ended up not being fruitful for them at all. And the Sluggalinis, they're starting as their main to go on.
Yep, they will be investing into this one, as we have seen them do so far. But they've picked up most of the pistol rounds so far in this matchup. They've picked up, I think, what, 3 of the 4 pistol rounds, so I don't think it's too surprising to see that one. Team Kick It, however, they are looking to come back. They've got the utility. They're going for what looks to be a fast B. They're going to be running straight to a lot of Killjoy utility, though.
Here.
So that could be a bit of an issue for them. And they have started to spot some of it. The wall is out.
Here.
The swarm does go out and gets tipped off. That's not perhaps going to do damage, but it's going to keep them at bay. Weefy is now down thanks to Ray. And the Spectre Illy does follow suit. A lot of damage done to the Cypher as well. So even though the bomb is down, surviving it is going to be another issue for Team Kick It, especially with Ray still on the scene, picking up a third, and Ghost of Flame will get the final frags there. Well, small consolation. They got the defuse, but it was a flawless round for the defense.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's not a big surprise if you're the attackers. You only went into that with a couple of upgraded pistols. You weren't willing to invest super heavy. Now they're going to come into this third round loaded to bear with rifles. Illy, interestingly, on the Marshall, though. It's, okay, no, they're going to be picking up a couple of Marshalls, in fact, so they're not going super heavy with the rifles. Going to take advantage of the long sight lines instead.
Here.
No, as I say that, Brian does swap back to the Vandal. It's not often you see the Reyna being the one sitting back on the Marshall, though. You'd think Weefy would be the one to do that, if anyone. Meanwhile, Flame is holding down their own Marshall on this A-site defense, but B does appear to be where the action is, at least so far.
B and mid.
More mid, yeah, you're right.
A lot of Sage Util moving out towards the stairs via the mail room. And Illy moving towards the sewers. I was thinking that the rest of the team will follow suit. Looks like that is exactly what is happening. And it's really interesting. There are a couple of members holding onto the A site and its long sight line. Of course, it'll be Flame that's holding the Marshall, holding the long angle. And Omen sitting up in heaven, keeping an eye on proceedings. The attackers will have to be very careful when they step out. There is the brimstone smoke to alert them. A set of page shells will fly in the attacker's general direction. The boombot will go out and gets destroyed before it drops its payload. Flamestar will begin to plant the spike, and now the defenders are now on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, so far the plant fairly clean. Not a lot of damage done either side. A little bit of chip damage onto the attackers, but not enough to really dissuade them. Here comes the retake now, and oh, that's brutal.
This is tough, but if the jail is up to taking anyone, it does not.
Oh, there it is.
Got baited by the swarm grenade, and now Ray, area pistol power gets the 1B onto Brian, and the defuse will come in. Despite the beeping being very ominous, they still got there in the end. Ray will keep the run going for the Sluggalinis.
Yeah, so again, Sluggalinis picking up the first 3 rounds here. I mean, this is par for the course. They normally pick up 4 rounds and then they drop about 3. So everything is on track for the usual script right now. And again, we do see a bit of an eco buy coming in from Team Kick It after that previous loss. So again, this is all looking very familiar at this point between these two teams, because this is how a lot of these matchups have started.
Pironious, so we're in a position to ask for new writers yet? I say that in jest, of course. A big stack towards B main, as a matter of fact, and the all does end up being given to the Jet, and does have the blades at the ready, so that is interesting. And promptly dealt with by Danby. And with the Sage slow coming down, and Ray shooting fish in a barrel. as easy as you like, and now it is only Illy in a 1 versus many angry defenders, and Ghost will go against the character's peaceful nature and put a slug right between the eyes. 4-0.
Look at this. Look at the scoreboard right now. Ray is 12-0 with 1 assist. The rest of the members of the team on 2 kills apiece. Killjoy is putting in so much work here.
Well, kill's actually in the name of the agent.
that is true, but
they're working as advertised. And with that being said, that type of line this early on is extremely rare, and one thing that you really want to carry on with, and that's basically being a lone side defender, which is basically Killjoy's specialty.
Ooh.
We're looking at a hit.
Flame gets away with that one, gets 1 kill onto Flamester as well, and gets away on 3 HP. A lot of pressure put down, did a lot of damage to Illy as well with those paint shells.
And the big get is they had the Sage on standby, so now they are on to 63, which while it might increase the time to kill slightly, I'm not sure if they are aware. Via definitely would have been. Did end up getting the trade out by Ghost though. And Ghost will stars they mean to go on. They're having yet again another good showing. There's a Sage. There's a Joy, that aggressive Sage, and looking at the current state of affairs for Team Kick, they're both together, but the bomb is down and outside of the Omen smoke. And despite all that, it is now on Illy in a 1 versus 2, but the power of information is well and truly in favor of the Sluggalinis, and it's all for Illy to do. It's going to be an extremely difficult thing for them to do, especially after hearing that cue to drop down. Both Bok Choy
10 seconds.
Phoenix don't have to do anything, and Danby, that almost went awry there. But they do end up getting the round.
And so this is the first time the script has been broken, as Sluggalinis able to pick up the 5th round of the match. They haven't given away anything yet to Team Kickit, who again, with the help of that loss bonus, are able to force into this round, but they're stretched very thinly. It's going to be 4 rifles and a Spectre, and a smattering of armor on the board, depending on how well the individual player has been doing, I suppose. 3 players with full armor, 1 with half. Brian, unfortunately, having to go without. A lot of attention up mid, and Danby goes for a very aggressive swing, as punished for his hubris.
And the big AWP is in play, and Weefy felt the wrath of that. That is for sure. We're now in a 4 versus 4. The bomb is on the attacking Sage. And Flamester, who's been a quality fragger for this entire series, in my view. And they're slowly enveloping onto the B's side, but Bok Choy and Ghost will be at their backs, coming in from up above. And Brian will be all that is left with the bomb down on the site. It is going to be an extremely difficult proposition, especially with Danby being brought back into the fray. So now Brian will have to ace and change to win this round.
Yeah, not an enviable position to be in. He does have the Cypher Cam available if he wants to peek that corner, but might have given it away. Ghost instead cleans him up. And so that will be 6-0 the scoreline here, as Sluggalinis really running away on this split defense.
And the attacking side of Team Kick It, they can't kick anything. They can't kick a giant soccer ball. They can't kick a volleyball. They can't kick a beach ball. They have nothing for the attacking side thus far. Maybe that fortune will change with a few ultimates at their disposal. They do have Reina's Empress, the ultimate ability of Cypher, and the Sage as well with the Resurrection if they can eventually disengage. But Ghost definitely hearing a lot of hullabaloo towards mid and is throwing a lot of slows at the wall to keep them at bay.
Yeah, they're on the force buy here. They've got a bit of an awkward arrangement of weapons, and Ghost and Danby are just shutting down this push. It is a flawless round. 7-0 on the scoreline. Now, this is split, to be fair. This is a very hard map to attack, and it's not uncommon to see very lopsided halves coming through from even the best teams on this one. So, doesn't necessarily mean too much, but you've got to get something on the board. You've got to get as many attacker rounds as you can just to make it easier on yourself during that defense stuff.
Because it is such a hard commodity to come by, winning rounds on the attacking side. It reminds me of the extremely old version of Train in CS. It's especially weighted towards the defenders. And either way, we do have full buys on deck and a full-blown breach of the A site. There's only one there, and Bok Choy got absolutely laid out, and that neural theft will be put to use. Basically telling everybody, yeah, this is where the defenders are coming from, which on a site like this, you will need. It is also valuable. Debbie will eliminate Weepy though, so we already in a 4 versus 4. And now the gel will come down from Killjoy.
One enemy remaining.
Still 3v1. Looking like me. Yeah, okay, they get the defuse. So again, another successful defense. And it was a better round than most because they're able to get onto the site and get the plant down. But in the end, not enough to secure the round win. So 8-0 the scoreline. Sluggalinis running away with this one. And I mean, this can be really dangerous because Team Kick It, you got to worry about team morale. Like, the last thing you need when you're getting shut out this badly is teammates start tilting, you start blaming each other, this person didn't do their job right, or this person, and it tears apart the team cohesion. And then when you get onto your favored, defended side, you're just not in a position to put up a competitive defense. So that is the real risk here, facing the members of Team Kick It, if they can't get something going for them.
That's a huge test for any squad. Either when it's brand new and made up from pugs, or a seasoned veteran. If you get stomped like this, it's a true test of you as a team, how you mentally stay together in the game. And looking at this, just look at this. We just keep going through the same first paragraph for the side of the Sluggalinis, and Viet does get brought back into the fray, and Coase gets eliminated. That is a big frag to get their hands on, and Weepy meets the orb of flame from top mid, and Flamestar does as well. And just as good as it looked for Team Kick It, it all came tumbling down, and now only Illy is left against 4 defenders, and they don't have to do anything on this side. They just let Illy do all the work, and Danby just lets Illy fall into his lap, and that is 9-0. We can see a double digit already going into round 10, and this is just unprecedented. We knew it was weighted towards the defenders.
Yep, this is yeah. Just also want to touch in on the scoreline. We highlighted it at round 3 that Ray was at 12 kills and leading the pack. The rest of the team has definitely caught up. Ray still putting out the utility, still being an important team player, but hasn't picked up a kill of their own since then. Still on 12, but Ghost has picked up 11 and Danby on 10. So the rest of the team definitely bringing it back as well. And part of that is because we've seen repeated A pushes or mid pushes. So they're not pushing into where Ray is set up. But still, we're starting to see a bit more of the rest of the team putting in the work. Spike will go down. Oh, caught with utility in the hand, but Bok Choy is there to take out Brian. So Ray there saved.
Vid has no idea though. One member actually walked right by him. He was tucked to the corner at the top ramp. One member did run right by him, but Flame did end up getting the frag onto them. And we're at 10. 4 survive. And this, it needs to be mentioned, Pironious. This economy on the defending side. You never want a defending side to get away with it at the best of times. Look at the state of it now.
Oh yeah, they
Life.
have money. They have so much money. They are going to have whatever they want for the rest of the half, with enough money to buy a second gun for everyone to boot. Still, we will be seeing a heavy investment into this round from Team Kickit. They are banking on trying to pick up this one. You're going to have a bit of an awkward buy in the final round of the half if they don't. And it will be another A hit. They have been consistently going for these A or mid pushes now. And it's understandable. They've worked out where the Killjoy utility is, so you don't really want to push into that if you don't have to. And well, the defenders, they're quite happy to pay for the retake here. They've worked out that they can pretty easily retake this site.
Spike
So
planted.
why risk anyone on that entry? Flame will be the opening pickup of the matchup. Picks up a second as well. Now the showstopper coming in will pick up a third. Flame going to town here. Brian will actually trade back two. That will be another successful wipe. Another successful defense. Defuse coming through.
And Illy with a little bit of a chirp in the team chat. I'm unsure if that's on stream, but it says we're inting. little bit of a. It's a bit of a. It's not exactly a. You can't really say that that's exactly true, though, is it? It's just that they're just getting caught in awkward situations and awkward buys, and it's just the first bit of momentum went to the side of the Sluggalinis and it just never stopped.
Well, it means the tilt is definitely there. Like the team morale is definitely taking a hit. They've tried every possible entry, and they're finding themselves being shut down every way. Bit of a peek out there will let them know where that operator is.
They're moving towards B though. They're moving in towards all of Killjoy's utility. Whether that's been noted, oh, it definitely will be now with Ray laying out Brian and hitting the swarm nade, and Ray is finally gone down. It feels like it's been forever since he's hit the deck, but he's now out of the fight. Now, looking like Team Kickit's finally actually breached the site and might be able to put the bomb down, but Illy felt Flame's fury, and as quickly as I said, yeah, it was looking good. It is now looking in a very awkward spot, and we are 12-0. Will we be seeing 7 golden letters for the Sluggalinis to conclude?
No, that's a perfect half for the Sluggalinis. They've picked it up 12-0. You can't do much better than that. Whole team putting up a great showing on the defense, and for a team that was so pushed so hard in the first 2 maps, for the fact that we've made it here to this 3rd map, and the 2nd map went to double overtime before they could secure this 3rd map. What a turnaround and comeback for them as well. And well, now they just need to knock one in. They just need to get one successful attack. They've consistently won the pistol rounds to boot. This is looking really good for them. They've only lost 1 pistol round so far this evening. Let's see if that continues. Let's see if they close this out right here and now. It's a great start.
We'll start off very strong there. Just using the buddy system to move out B main, but Illy will keep their form up, taking out 2 and then scratching up a 3rd being Ghost. Ray will stop Flames. Will stop that run at the very least, but Illy is still up! And that will be as easy as you like. A 4K from Illy, and Weavy will finish it off. And that is a broken run. That is a broken goose egg there for Team Kickit. They are finally on the board, and not a moment too soon. But
yeah,
it doesn't mean that they're out of the woods yet, not by a long shot. They have to play perfectly to force OT.
Yeah, and as a result, they're going to force. Like, Illy is pulling out the Vandals straight away. We're seeing the most powerful weapons they can bring to bear with their limited funding coming out straight away. And it's going to be make or break as a result of that.
And they'll be limited in terms of defense formations too, because of the nature of a lot of these weapons. They're just going to have to utilize that Vandal. It was utilized for 1, but that'll be that.
It's a donated Vandal now.
Yeah, that'll be it for Illy and their innings for this round. I'll be on to the rest of Team Kickit to pull it back together. So we seem to be at a stalemate towards the A site. They do have a lot of time to play with. Do the Sluggalinis? They not only in the round, but they have some in the game as well. So they can afford to exhaust everything.
Most scary is that Flame actually bought up the full armor, so they have the Vandal with full armor, which makes them the single scariest person on the server in terms of equipment.
And also with the packs and having mobility.
Oh, the ambush!
And
Leafy judged.
And Weefy actually got tagged in amongst that too. Maybe that sound cue wasn't quite as pronounced for the Rays there, but they still live on the back of that.
Yep.
And it was looking so dire too because the Vandal was given up, and Flame, who has been one of the heavy hitters on the Rays so far,
Yeah.
was looking to be a sure thing, but just got caught unawares by the judge. And when you deal with the judge, you have to deal with the consequences, and they play another round.
Yeah, I mean, he threw the paint shells out there, was expecting that maybe no one would be there, but in the end, the paint shells didn't land quite close enough to really force the relocation, so pop up from there. Unfortunately, it ended up being a jet with a judge, which is one of the most scary things in the game if you don't know it's there, and used to good effect there to bring that round back from the brink. Now we have a lot of utility getting thrown down on B. There's the cage out. Bit of a one-way smoke there at the bottom. But they'll get the orb, and it looks like they'll run away with that one quite comfortably.
As easy as you'd like for something like that. And Illy does have the Empress at the ready, which will be something of note. And Danby is actually one away from getting the run it back, which will be quite useful. Flamester ends up confronting with Flame and saying,
Big pickup.
that is a huge get in the opening stages. And Ghost will eliminate Bryant, and just as quickly as the advantage was there, was gone. Illy is taken out of the equation, and now it is a 2 versus 2. And Weefy does get the frag there, and the runner back was acquired and popped by Danby. And oh dear, there goes the face-off and the backstab by Weefy. I mean, if you're gonna do it with style, and that is how they stay alive.
And that will be the defenders picking up a third round as they keep themselves going. Oh. They've bought themselves an inroad back into this, but the question is, how long can they keep it up? They are getting better and better weaponry each time. Finally have the operator out, and this time, Sluggalinis, they're not going to be investing, they're not going to force into it, they're going to go for the power pistols instead, which means this should be another round that defense picks up, as another stay of execution is bought, but we'll see how it plays out, because all they need is a few weapons donated the wrong way, and then maybe, just maybe, it becomes competitive.
Yes, indeed. The bomb on the back of the Sage, who is moving towards the A site with a cohort of 2. And Weefy, with the operator, moving towards Heaven and Ramp, maybe listening for a sound cue. Definitely will notice that. Takes a pot shot, but only saw a member of the opposition running away. So they know the operator's in play due to the side of the Sluggalinis. They've backpedaled, and perhaps are wanting to gather entirely before they get the hit. And Ray is on the run to join the rest of the team, or just hang around in mid for a bit.
Yeah, very slow push here. Everyone on the defense being very disciplined. They know, they know they've got the advantage. Now we have the hit coming down onto the A. We have Illy there on site. Ooh, gets spotted out. Actually does get one. Uses the relocate to get out. That's the second one. 3 kills from Illy. And just like that, another stay of execution. I mean, it's not too surprising given the buys, but still, it really looked like Illy was in a rough spot there after getting spotted out. Managed to make it work. Once again, we have the rifles coming out for the attackers. They're setting up outside of B. Let's see if this is the round they break through and take us out of this series, or will they continue to... will Team Kick It continue to buy their own stays of execution here?
The only bit of util missing is Flame missing a blast pack. It won't really matter because Brian gets a bullet right through them, and the slow field was put down by the Sage. So a 1-for-1 and definitely a lockout potential is here. Flame does pull out a showstopper. Does he find a target to go at?
Oh!
Oh, he went right in between the two of them. If only he knew. But Viet will get the better of that. Ray will put the bomb down, albeit the process is doing so. Does successfully start the timer, but Wi-Fi will eliminate the Phoenix. That orb is extremely terrifying in this instance, and now Ray, we know you've had a good run, but it is going to be an extremely difficult one for you to curtail. It went down to a 1 versus 1, but Illy will keep things alive for Team Kick It. And good lord, that was so close to being a closed out series.
Yep, I mean, this is split. There's a reason that the teams don't like to play on it.
Yes, and when we see that on full display, it's just that one attacking round. For some teams, it's extremely hard to come by because the defense does have so many avenues to be in, and makes the attacking job that much harder. But now we move on to an A congregation for the attacking side. Shadow will go down. The orb will be picked up, which will tip off the member on site, and luckily the member in heaven as well. And Flames to being taken out of the fray will be a big deal. Illy will prevent the teleport from taking place. Heard the bell, thought nothing of it. Got brought down to 7 HP, but is still alive.
Oh, Ray!
Ray and the sheriff will eliminate too, and this is almost a ticket punch thanks to Killjoy and the sheriff. Sounds like the lamest sitcom ever, but Wi-Fi and the Cypher are all that is left, and Brian will get one back on the Flame. So it's brought them an avenue in, but the defuse will have to be delayed as this cage will have to expire before the defense will start to move for the retake.
Oh, it's an aggressive peek from Brian. Doesn't work out. Now Wi-Fi alone with the operator and there it is.
Attackers.
And with that, the Sluggalinis will win 13-5, closing out this series.
And it took a while for us to get there, and a lot of interesting developments and a couple of standouts throughout all that. But a very GG and well played was exchanged after that one, and of course the Sluggalinis who remain undefeated, and commiserations are in order for Team Kick It, who have the coolest name, but sadly did not have the day for them, going down in a 3-map set.
Absolutely. So in the end, it will be the end of that one. Close matchup from these two teams, but well, the Sluggalinis, they were slightly the favorite in coming into that matchup, and they do manage to edge ahead. That's going to be it for our broadcast this evening. Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow night with the AAOL, and next week for another round of the Conquest Clash as well. And just before we go, a quick wrap-up as well with a thank you to our Patreon sponsors of Galileo, Random Thing, Kerberos, Ryden, and Lamington. And, well, until next time, that's all from us. And it's all from me for quite a while, as I'm actually now going on a bit of a casting hiatus and I suppose handing over the baton to Cyberwaste here.
Oh, well, when you put it like that, it makes it sound like it's going to be a lot of pressure. But no, it's always been a joy to cast with you. I wish you all the best in your time off. And, well, with all that said and done, once again, congratulations to the Sluggalinis. I hope you do end up going out for KBBQ after. You earned it. And that will be the end of our broadcast day. I've been joined by Pironious. I have been Cyberwaste. Thank you to all our patrons. Thank you to all of you for watching at home. Good night and happy fragging.